The good neighbors would like to send our condolences to the family and friends that were lost on this tragic day. This episode is a recap of what happened last year as me and my good friend decided to speak on the issue. May the angels guide you on your lofty quest. What's going on y'all today? How y'all doing? Welcome to the Good Neighbors Podcast. I'm Lamont.
What's going on, man? I'm Dre.
Somber day for us in Buffalo, New York. We appreciate all the love and all the hands that have been reached out to us over this incident. We appreciate that 100%. Tough time, but as always, we're gonna get through it. We're gonna better ourselves, become better people, be better at protecting ourselves, and also staying vigilant. And staying vigilant is one of the main things that we need to do and take care of in our everyday life. No matter where you are, no matter where you may be, you should always keep your head on the swivel. Guard your six. And what I mean by guard your six is basically protect yourself, watch your back, and be aware of your surroundings. That goes from getting out of your car, going to the store, coming out of your house, events, things of that nature. You always want to stay vigilant. No matter how comfortable you may be, you may think that everything is comfortable, but it's better to keep your head on a swivel and be aware of your surroundings, because you may not know what can happen at any given time, any given place. And not only do you want to protect yourself, but if you can, protect others. And that's one of the main things that we want to say. Even if we don't delve too much into this topic, because there's still more information coming out, but the information that we do have, it was racially motivated. He went to a certain area. He targeted a specific group of people. But I want to let it be known, and this is me and my point of view and my opinion, this does not affect all people of that race. This doesn't affect all people of that culture. This is an attack on human life. And any attack on human life is a tragedy. And what we want to do is we do not want them to use this narrative to divide us. Because the goal is to divide us. To create I need someone to take care of me atmosphere, instead of taking care of yourself. And in the essence of you taking care of yourself, you're taking care of others. Ronald Reagan said the last 9 words that you want to hear from somebody is, I'm here from the government and I'm here to help. We must start with ourselves. Once we start with ourselves, we start with our communities. We start with our communities, we'll have a better way of taking care of the narrative that they want to paint. Because what they want to paint to us right now is that all people of that race are bad. We're going into the summer area. We know tensions are going to be high. And that's just not going against other races. It's going to be with our race as well. It's getting warmer. Once the streets get hot, people get hot. Tempers flare. People should keep their head above water right now, because guess what? Now this is what they want us to do. But you should want to do it yourself. You should want to take care of yourself. You should want to take care of your family. You should want to take care of your neighbors and those that are around you. Because the easier and the quickest way to divide us is the easiest and the quickest it is going to be to disarm us. And this goes for people that are actual carriers of firearms. And we use these kind of methods to disarm us, the actual law-abiding citizens, the people that do not carry legally. You're not supposed to carry anyway, so it's not going to target you. It's going to target the people like us that actually do carry. So I'm asking people and I'm encouraging people to not only stay prayerful, not only stay mindful, but stay vigilant. To be aware of your surroundings, to stay focused, and to watch what's actually going on. Because as for us, being in the city of Buffalo, this is one of our first mass shootings like this. One happened in Arkansas. Did you know about that one? It was at a car show. Probably didn't make the news as big as this one did, because it's the biggest mass one of the country of the year that actually did more damage to people. I'm asking people to look into and stay focused. Do not jump to conclusions. We know what we want to do. We want to be aggressive. We want to retaliate. But that's what they want us to do. They want us to retaliate. They want to cause a separation between the American people. They want to use this as a way to attack certain groups of people and put them in a category of being a supporter of conservatives, Republicans, MAGA supporters. I know a lot of black MAGA supporters. None of them condone this. This is racially contrived. And they want to put people's names out there to make it seem like this is what is being done on that side. But it's not. There's nothing wrong with having your border secure, vetting people. A nation does not survive with crumbled borders. I think I talked about this in the last episode. Borders, language, and culture. No nation survives without those. We have to love one another. We have to protect one another. Because you have to understand, not only are there people who do not want us to come together, there will be people that are equipped to divide us. You can go in any store and you will help someone. You can go out there and help a lady with her cart, no matter what the race, color, or creed is. They know that. They see that. And this goes for the people that are on top, the people that are behind the scenes that want to divide us into their one totalitarian government that they want to bring us all under. And the best way to bring it is to snatch away your freedom of speech, to snatch away your constitutional right to carry. And they know this. So the more that they ask, the more that they know that you're going to ask for the government to do something, the more they're going to implement more laws into taking it away from you. The more you ask the government to give you something for free, they can't take something away from you. They can't give you something for free without taking something from you. So you're thinking you're going to receive the security. You think you're going to receive some type of safety. But in the essence of them giving you that, they're going to take something away from you. They're going to take away your well-being. It's going to take away your right to do certain things. Because guess what? You asked for it. But guess what? We gave this to you. Well, we're going to take a little bit of this. And because you don't know, because you choose not to research it, because you choose not to look into it, when it actually happens, the first thing you're going to say is, oh, woe is me. When did this happen? Why didn't I know? Because you didn't decide to look. You chose not to look. You chose to be a victim. There are sheep or sheeple. There are sheep dogs, and there are wolves. When wolves come to get you, they come to get you. But to protect those sheep, somebody has to be a sheepdog. Are you going to be a sheepdog? Are you going to be the one to say, I'm going to take a stand? Are you going to be the one to say, I want to protect not only myself, but others? And they're afraid of the sheepdog. But you also have to be aware of the Judas goat, the one that leads the sheep to the slaughter. Those are one that guides the sheep, and the sheep do not understand until they start to smell the blood, and then that's when things hit the fan. So when you choose to be a sheepdog to protect yourself and others from the wolves, because the wolves are out there. They come in suits, they come in ties, they come in priest robes, just to lead you into believing that you need their safety. My fault, bro. I just had to get that out.
No, my prayers to the families,
Absolutely.
and other victims, other community.
Absolutely.
But that's my area.
I made sure.
So I grew
mad
up in
people that
area,
conversated
so.
with me. I made sure I was like, yo, I got family over there, and the person that I do our podcast with is from that area. So
That definitely hit home. That definitely hit home for me, because I actually watched that Tops get built over there. I mean, I was over there before that Tops was even there, before it even existed. So I watched. That was something big for us, especially in that neighborhood.
They actually have a supermarket
because
in the
we
area.
did not have nothing. Nothing was in that area at all, except for a plaza that had a Rite Aid and a Chinese restaurant. That was it, and railroad service. You could walk to. You was able to walk to 2 different railroad services, either the Utica station or the Delavan station. But other than that, you did not have anywhere to go shop at all whatsoever. You had to go on the outskirts. I remember having to go all the way to Broadway and Fillmore to shop. So that was a big thing.
And how far away you think that was?
Yeah, so that was a really big thing for us. So my prayers go out to the families of the victims and the lost ones. That was a sad moment.
Right. Absolutely.
Jesus. So now that we got that out the way, man. So what's going on for today?
I don't know. I really wanted to take this time to tell people, like I said earlier, stay vigilant. We have been put in a position where we're so comfortable, and then when something actually happens to us, because you have to think about it, we've seen these things happen in certain areas for so long until it actually hits home.
Yeah.
So now it actually hits home, and then, unfortunately, other than our football team now, this is mainstream news.
And not to mention also, because a lot of other people was talking about this, and a lot of people was trying to figure out like why here, and that's because we're on the spotlight now with the music and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So there is some influence on the city, and not only that, the football team has been on a rise as far as winning records.
Right.
So our city has been,
our notoriety has been put in the forefront.
And then I had to tell somebody, when you Google our city on when you search for our city on YouTube, it's nothing really positive at all, really, to be perfectly honest. It's really not a lot of positivity when it comes to our city and searching up history. They only mention the poverty and everything like that.
And our history has so much history. Buffalo has so much history, and what we created from the Pan American expedition that happened. If you guys have never seen those photos from like 1910 and everything, I encourage you to look up not only the history of Buffalo, but to actually see how much influence we actually had on the world. It was a lot. We had the Pan Am. We were one of the first that if you remember, there were those big tubs with those paws on the feet. If you can remember, if your grandmother or somebody had one of those tubs, those things were created here, shipped all the way to California. They created those things and shipped them here. We have a place called Grand Island, called Millionaires Row. Huge houses during the time.
The Love Canal we know for too.
Love Canal.
For the
Erie Canal.
The oil
the Erie
situation.
Canal. We had Bethlehem Steel.
Yep.
Before they shipped that overseas.
And
Buffalo has a very, very rich history. Millard Fillmore. See,
Yeah.
people think Buffalo, and the first thing they want to say is Rick James is from Buffalo. All Rick James. Somebody got some kind of story about Rick James, especially if you were in the area. I got a bunch of stories from what my aunt used to tell me, my great grandmother too, because he used to come over to the house a lot. But there's so much more from our city that we have to offer. You know, it's not just buffalo wings. It's not just Rick James. It's not just Griselda. Our history is deep. We got 2 presidents here. We got one that was actually assassinated here, William McKinley. And there's a spot right in the hood where it happened that people don't even know about. And that's in Cold Spring for those on the east side of Buffalo that know that area. People don't know that. There's so much that we have to offer in the fact that this happened. Now, I'm going to say this, and let's see what happens. This just happened in Buffalo. For those that are in Buffalo that know, Buffalo's on the rise right now. And this is my mind.
you got. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. And this is not his thoughts, these are mine. Buffalo's on the rise right now. This situation just happened. Buffalo's on the map. So you know what? Watch all of the prayers for Buffalo themes starting to roll in. Watch the teams start to do things for the Buffalo community. They're going hard for Buffalo. We're doing this for Buffalo. And watch as the money comes in. Yeah, I said it. Watch the money come in. Because remember, we just spent money on a stadium. That was pretty expensive. So guess what? Now the prayers for Buffalo things start rolling in. Now we're going to do it for Buffalo start rolling in. Now the tensions are going to be high with the teams because now everything they're going to start doing is going to be for the Buffalo brand. Don't be surprised if Buffalo wins the Super Bowl. Because guess what? We're doing it for Buffalo. We're doing it for the team. They did it for those people that lost. I'll think like that. And you have to think like that. Because you have to think outside the box. You can't just continue to listen to the narrative that they're going to give you. Because there's a lot more that's involved. These are things that are behind the veil. The things that they won't tell you. But the way I think like that because you have to think like that. You have to think outside of your vicinity. Because none of these things are pure coincidental. You may say it's conspiratorial. You can say that. But I'd rather think more abroad than just one simple lane. And just have horse blinders on. You have to look at the bigger picture of the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, watch.
Cause I understand a lot what you're talking about because I was in my head earlier when you think about all these things, the city, the music, the influence that Buffalo has been
Starting to garner up now.
starting to come about, and then you you look at the poverty, the story. To be honest, minus the race.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear of Buffalo, when you heard of Buffalo, where is that? What's that? Is it a country? Is you know what I mean?
Well,
A lot of
I
people
know.
didn't consider When you say it's in New York,
Trust me, being
in
in
New York State,
being in the
people just-
military, and you would
it's-
tell guys, people from New York City, that you was from Buffalo. The first things they would say is, one of the things they would say is, "Oh, y'all country, or y'all from Canada," unless you knew someone that ventured out in the area, or was up here or towards our area, Buffalo, Rochester, those areas. They would say, "Oh no,"
and then
they get busy up there, or they're not what you think they are.
And then MSN website, MSN.com, where they be doing the top 10 as far as like worst cities, top cities, stuff like that. Affordable cities to live in. So we'll be placed in those also for worst city, affordable cities,
Right.
Poverty, stuff like that. And then when you start really literally furthering your research, and you think of a situation like what happened this week with the city, and just think about the target. This only was it really was only two places you can target, there and the Broadway Fillmore area where Aldi's is at. And
You're right.
and when you think about that,
I'll give you one
just
better.
for those, just by themselves, just for you to have just only those two areas that have grocery stores, and those are all low driven poverty areas.
Right.
It's crazy to me that we could just easily target, because they could have did the same thing in the Broadway market, the same exact thing in that Broadway market.
But this is the crazy part. This kid was from Broome County, which is outside of Buffalo, way outside Buffalo. He drove 3 hours and 17 minutes to get here. So you went past Ithaca, Syracuse, and Rochester. Just to get to Buffalo. It's a 3 hour and 17 minute trip. It didn't happen in Syracuse. It didn't happen in Ithaca. It didn't happen in Rochester. It didn't happen in Niagara Falls. It happened in Buffalo. I see these things, and it kind of like makes me wonder, how much do you have this plan? Because also they found a manifesto. And in this manifesto that they found from this kid, who not only was told about prior to, he was told, school official reported that this very troubled young man had made statements indicating that he wanted to do a shooting either at a graduation ceremony or sometime after. The same government official familiar with the case told the news. State police were sent to investigate, and under a section of state mental health laws was referred for a mental health evaluation and counseling. Which leads to our next point: psychotropic drugs, psychotropic medications. They will continue to feed these things. If you look at multiple mass shootings that they had, or that they have had, and you look into the psychological medications that these kids were on, you would see that's another major part. They will continue to try and blame video games, first-person shooters, even though that's the video that they found from him, for people on Twitch. And they say he tried to mimic what happened in Australia. And we have seen these things happen before. But now we're in this realm of using the video game aspect. Because if we're going to use the video game aspect, you could probably want to go to the government, because guess what? The game Doom was the first game that they were basically helping in introducing the military soldiers on how to use first-person action. So this goes back to psychological warfare.
Was it that, or was it 007?
It was Doom. because Doom was basically one of the first person shooters.
That was
ever.
Sega, right?
What Doom? Doom
Yeah.
was PC. 007 was
Oh,
Nintendo
okay.
64. If you play with Oddjob,
Okay.
if you play with Oddjob with 007, I don't like playing with you because you're a cheat. Because Oddjob was short.
Yeah. Oh, damn, man. That's crazy because I played that game, but I wasn't like
that
good,
was
good.
our thing.
I wasn't good at it, but I was.
Oh
played
man!
it though.
If they would put, so we just went left real quick. If they would put, you want to, it's cool to play Call of Duty, it's cool to play Battlefield and all those games. You put 007, GoldenEye on a platform like a Call of Duty, you will see who your real players are. And that, even though it's a little off topic, but that, because you had certain players that will play certain things, and then you have certain players that will go and get the golden gun. That would cheat. One shot, one kill. 007 golden gun was basically Scaramanga from Man with the Golden Gun. I'm a James Bond fan. I'm a huge James Bond fan. I watch every James Bond movie. I have damn near every James Bond book and damn near every audio book. All the books. I love James Bond. Always have. He was the first person that introduced me into drinking dirty martinis. He was. Especially I was in Europe too at the time, so really try to give off that persona as a black James Bond that had a European woman. Because it did. And to be honest with you, a female will ask you, what are you drinking? You tell them a dirty martini, you will see light switches go off like, oh wow, that's crazy. Why are you drinking
dirty
martinis? And then I would tell them the story. I'm a James Bond fan, yada yada yada. But they created those platforms for military service members back in the day to get them used before they go out into the actual field of being interactive. Those were the kind of games that they created, such as a Doom, to initialize this is what you'll probably see, especially as technology started to get more advanced. I would encourage people to look at certain movies. I'm in that mode right now, so I would encourage people to look at movies like Manchurian Candidate. You can go Denzel Washington, or you can go all the way back to Frank Sinatra.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that was the first Manchurian Candidate. And if you've seen that movie, and how patsies are created, or how psychological mind warfare is created, MK Ultra. Yeah, I said it. MK Ultra, Project Bluebird. These are all things that create the kind of what we would say patsies for some of these situations that we are starting to see. People don't want to say it, but guess what? It's true. It's an unclassified document. MK Ultra. It's there. Project Bluebird. It's out there. Project Naomi, which is out there. Project Naomi is a little bit more deep because that goes with biological warfare on actual persons. That was created in Maryland. So these are unclassified documents. I'm not saying nothing that's conspiratorial or anything. These are things that are actually out. These are things that have shown that create a lot of these chaoses that has happened. It's up to you if you would choose to dig and find out what they are. Like I said before, you have an Alexandria library in your hand. It's up to you if you choose to look into it or look for it. Because a lot of these things that happen, they're just not off a humbug. There's been a lot of psychological operations that have been created for this purpose. We can go to the Maine when they sunk the Maine. We can go to the Gulf of Tonkin. Everything that I'm saying to you right now, Gulf of Tonkin is basically what brought us into the Vietnam War. They say that a ship was sunk. And when it came to find out, the ship wasn't sunk. These are things that I'm saying, but guess what? These are things that have happened. These are the operations that have been created to create certain situations. Gulf of Tonkin. Some people say 9/11, which brought a lot of us into the military. And then guess what? After you started studying, do your research, which basically brought us into the Afghan war, a war that we basically lost and ran from, which had a lot of my friends and a lot of civilians and a lot of innocent people hurt. All these things are put into the position of getting us to ask for a one world government to protect us and take care of us. Because guess what? It doesn't matter if you're religious. It doesn't. If they believe in a certain belief system, they're going to do everything in their power to create that belief system and put it upon you. You don't have to believe in God. You don't have to believe in Muhammad. You don't have to believe in Buddha. You don't have to. Because if they have a belief system and they want to implement that, it doesn't matter what you think, they're going to try everything that they can to implement that. Because you can't. A one world religion, a one world currency, a one world language. And they're slowly working their way towards all three of those things. Because guess what? As English, the English language, like we said before, is the hardest language to learn.
Mm-hmm. Say it all the time.
But guess what? Spell joke. I'll spell it on your phone how you spell it. J/K. If I type that in, guess what? Everybody knows what that means, right? When you say these things, you don't believe it. But guess what? That's what it's leading to. Inflation is happening heavy. They want to push everybody towards Bitcoin. They want to push everybody towards electric cars. Can't buy an electric car if I ain't got no money to spend for it. I can't use my dollars if my dollar don't mean nothing. Because like I said before, our dollars isn't backed by anything. English is a universal language. Everywhere. You may see a few little other languages, random places, but you go to the smallest country, I bet you'll find something in English. Bet you. So what we're starting to see is it's slowly starting. Is it going to happen in our time? Who knows? Has it happened before? We've slowly seen it start to happen. But there have been people that have been able to say, we see what's going on, and the more we put you people to the forefront, we're going to expose and show who you are. You may sound conspiratorial, but then you just start showing who these people are. You start showing what the World Economic Forum is. You start telling people what the UN, the United Nations, actually is built for. You start to tell these people that. How a lot of these politicians and these governments have members that are in your local areas that are part of the World Economic Forum, who are part of these so-called corporations. You look. I'm not saying get violent with them, confront them, but you send a letter to your city and your commission and you let them know, hey man, this is what this person believes. I don't feel that he's correct with what our beliefs is in protecting our sovereignty. Because like I said before, a nation cannot survive without borders. And the fact that we're sending all this money over to other countries and stuff and we can't get a road fixed. $40 billion overseas. Baby formula off the shelves. Baby formula sent to the border to help the people that are coming in. If I came from a country where I didn't have much, I'll throw them out the quickest Nikes I can to get here. But at the same time, you have to do it the correct way. You can't just come in and believe you're going to get some kind of amnesty for why you're coming here. Because you have to understand, those same people that come in these countries that do not want to assimilate will bring those same kind of characteristics to this country.
Yep.
And they have no, and guess what they'll say? Come on in. Because you are the class that we're looking for. You are the class that doesn't want to assimilate. So it will be easy to manipulate you and to basically bring on what you came from and institutionalize it and bring it here. We thank you for those. Like I said, are those countries? Are we seeing these countries being determined and destroyed for a reason? Possibly. Because guess what? Those kind of places, you want to get away from them. There's nothing here. I need to get out of here. It is dangerous. But when you come here, you have to want to be an American citizen. I've seen multiple people that came from other countries that spent thousands of dollars to become an American citizen, who know our Constitution, who know our amendment better than us for them to become a citizen, and spent money to do it, and respect the country more because they had to work for it, compared to people that just decided to try to sneak over here and live off the system. I've seen it. I've talked to these people. And they are more upset that those people are doing that the wrong way, because guess what? They had to do it the right way and spend thousands of dollars in doing it. And know the Constitution better than most Americans. You can go up to some people right now and ask them what a certain... It's real.
Myself.
Seen people come here and respect the country more because they came from a place that was crap and do not want the place that they escaped from to turn into the place that they are going. And when I say that, America is the last beacon of hope, because if America fails, where would people go? Where you can say what you want, which they're slowly trying to take away right now.
Correct.
With this Department of the Ministry of Department of Truth or whatever they have going on. To take away your First Amendment. To take away your first, to take away the second.
It's getting real out here, man.
Yeah, it's getting real.
I mean, it already has been. No, listen. I'm already in this little weird funk anyways based on everything, but no, this is stuff that need to be said, yo. It's stuff that need to be said. It's stuff that need to be spoken about and at least understood, or attempt to be understood. We're in a world of knowledge, and a lot of us we will rather, instead of us learn everything, we will rather wait for these handouts and then not understand that these handouts come with, it doesn't just come for free. It comes with a purpose. It comes with taking away something. And the things that they're trying to take away is the things that is the most important reason that makes you great on this soil. So yeah, it's a must. It has to be spoken, and it has to be taught somehow, some way.
Right.
So
everything that we basically saying, we're not just saying it.
And you know a lot more and you know a lot more than yourself. So I sit back sometimes, a lot of times, and take heed and absorb and listen, and be like, I didn't know that.
I appreciate that.
So, and I appreciate you as well. So again, man, this is why we here.
I'm not
to spit to bring what we can bring to the table.
Right. I'm not perfect. I have a lot of faults. But if those faults can be turned into positives and helping someone else or others, I would do my due diligence to dig as much as I can and to find out as much as I can to help other people and find out what needs to be found out, because we're in the age of information and we're in an info war right now, and if you don't understand the information, we are dealing with silent weapons and quiet wars right now. Mentally, physically, spiritually. And we have to understand that we can't keep continuing to think that everything is just going to be cool, okie dokie. Because it's cool, but I don't want people to be scared. I want you to continue to live your life, but at the same time still pay attention. Don't be of this world, because this world means nothing. You know what I'm saying? The world could be it could be gone tomorrow and you would have nothing to show for it. But you still have to make sure that you understand what this world has to offer, but don't get sucked into it.
It can offer a lot.
It can offer a lot. It can. And that's the purpose of it. Because guess what? If one man decided not to take what the world have to offer, that's big. He declined it because he knew what it came with, because it's worldly. Man is worldly. Man is infallible. Man will let you down every single time. So why would I want anything that this world have to offer? I remember listening to a song like "The World Is Yours" and Shaq had the whole "The World Is Mine" tattoo, and I was like, yeah, and I was feeling that. But then I thought about it. If he declined it, why would I want it if it's that bad? Who am I? Who am I to want what he declined? You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
It's true.
That's deep as ever.
Because it's worldly things. Worldly things fade away. Like my dad used to say, man, chasing after these girls, man, you'll be dead and gone. These girls still gonna be here.
That's a good one.
Didn't hit till I got older, but now I understand. You're just a hater, Dad. Wait a minute. Maybe you're right, player. Maybe you're right.
Possibly right.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah, possibly
I'll be dead and gone. They still gonna be here.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's just basically.
It's real, man.
I encourage people to get involved in their communities. Do research. Let me see what happens. Arm yourselves. Protect yourselves. Just because you carry a weapon don't mean you're proficient with your weapon. Go get training. Go get things done. Be involved. Teach your kids. It's your God-given right.
It is.
It's a God-given right. It's unalienable, not inalienable. Unalienable means that it cannot be taken away from you because it's God-given. No matter what your belief system is, it's God-given. Our forefathers, they say they had a belief in a God, but they never mentioned which God. But guess what? That God gave people unalienable rights. It's a difference. He gave you a right to bear arms. He gave you a right to have free speech. Now you have it. It's up to you how you use it.
And keep it.
And keep it. Because guess what? There's going to be a time where, guess what? You loving somebody may be a crime. You having feelings
That's deep. I didn't think about that one.
may be a crime. They show us all the time in the movies. Equilibrium was a movie with Christian Bale and Taye Diggs. People that had feelings and people that were having feelings, they would make them take a shot to numb their feelings. And when people started to not take their doses, as they called it, and started to get feelings and get emotional, read certain books, a puppy may run into their arms or something. That was considered a crime. They put them in a chamber and killed them for having feelings, for believing, for loving. And we say that's just a movie. The movie gets said so many times, 1984. It gets said so much. Animal Farm gets said so much.
That was a good book too.
It's a great book. And unfortunately, it took my daughter to let me watch the movie. Then I read the book to understand it.
I'm talking about 1984.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
As well as Animal Farm. It's a lie. Winston was a character in 1984. They explained this to us multiple times, and they put it in ways that it's palatable for the user to watch. But then when you start looking and you start being like, wait a minute, this is starting. I just mentioned the Ministry of Truth. Guess what's in 1984? The Ministry of Truth. You can't type or say certain things without someone saying, nope, you can't say that. You're not allowed to say that. When people are starting to compartmentalize your words and what you say. Everybody has a right on their digital soapbox. You have a right to say, from the neo-Nazi to the black supremacist, you have a right to say what you want. It's up to me to engage with this conversation with you or to walk away. It's up to me. If I choose to engage in a conversation with you, I should be prepared to be able to say, I can't go off emotions with you, because if I go off emotions, that's when you lose sight of what the actual motive is. If I'm going to engage you, I want to engage you with facts. My facts may be as accurate as it can be. You might not appreciate those facts. You may go home afterwards and be like, let me look into what he said. You may find out to be true. You may have been led down a certain path your whole life that you didn't know. And that goes for all of us. We've all been lied to our whole life. Listen to everyone. Listen to everything. Believe none of it.
Yep.
Until you can do your own research and come up with your own conclusion. I said this before. You find one book that says one thing, you find another book that says another thing. Let me see if that book coincides with this when I find another book. You have to. This age or information is very substantial to our way of life. And it is up to you to find out. And don't lead on emotions. Emotions will get you murked every single time. What happened? Man, okay, did you think about it? Nope. You didn't think about it until afterwards. Until you in that box.
True.
Both boxes. Cell. Ground. And we have to learn that. Do we get sensitive? Do we get emotional sometimes? Of course we do. Especially my people, we're emotional people. And we're also a very accepting and loving people. But that does not mean that you should not be vigilant and be able to have discernment of what's going on in the world. You're in the world, don't be of this world.
I like that.
My fault, Dre.
No, it's a good one, man. It's a good day today. Sometimes you got to take over when the other person is off today. I'm off. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I am off today.
Right.
But I'm still there though. I'm still hanging in there.
No doubt.
What else we got going? You know, I thought it's funny because we got a little guest. We don't got a guest, but I thought we was gonna have like a background guest today. That person asleep. Person knocked out.
Not. Maybe that's a positive.
Probably so. Probably so. Maybe next time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I thought I was going to bring something different to the table today. had that background talk, that background conversation with somebody different.
Right.
But then again, I thought maybe that was, like you said, maybe that was a good thing. Somebody see that and be like, all right, I'm next.
You're right.
Be like,
as much as I've been telling people, we're working our way to bring in.
Like this one was by default. It would have been like that one was by default. So that's funny. But yeah, I don't got a.
What's that?
I didn't know. Somebody actually shot at the.
That's what my dad was telling me.
I didn't know that.
And my dad was actually telling me what he heard and tried to explain what he heard. And then I had to give him my perspective of being in the military, of giving rounds and taking rounds.
Yeah.
And rounds meaning shots from and to people. You know, it's not like the movies. It's definitely not like the movies. You shoot the person, they fall down, and etc. And then you hear certain things like, I can't believe he didn't release the whole magazine into the person. Or you have to understand, when your body receives an adrenaline rush, especially when you're in the act of doing something, it increases. So sometimes you have to neutralize the topic. And then the other things that I heard was, they should have did this to the guy, and they did that to the guy, and they let him go. And then I'm like, okay, I'm looking at the area of Buffalo. I'm looking at the area of Buffalo policemen, which are multiple what?
I have no idea.
African American males.
Oh yes.
So you can't use that. You can't use that as an excuse of why they didn't, because they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
They apprehended the suspect. They took him in, and he's going to get interrogated, and we're going to find out. He might have committed the atrocities, but in this country, no matter how some people may look at it, he still has a right to go through the court system. Because these are the kind of situations that you find out, and you try to see what the actual application was of him creating this. Even though they found a manifesto on him that said he wanted to do. What he wanted to do, what he felt, and why he did what he did. Do I feel what he did was right? Absolutely not. Far from it.
Yeah.
Far from it. But when you're misguided and you don't know knowledge, or you don't know history, you don't have nobody to give you no type of game, you don't understand it. He believed that the white population was being decimated and shrinking. But then when you look at the stats of white, blacks, minorities, Latinos, Latinas, Asians, etc., they still, people of white descent are still heavily the highest population. And even if you do feel like that, and I'm gonna say it, you feel like your population is decreasing, have more babies.
Which they do.
I don't know the way to say it. You find you a woman that you love, that you care about, and you procreate. You want to have 13 kids? Guess what? You got 13 kids. But that's what's the issue. That's the issue that we're facing now. People that believe they have the right, believe that their race or their how do you say, their nationality is declining because of what they see and what's going on, and want to use that to attack other people. It's a complete false narrative, because anybody with any real common sense knows that's not how a nation survives. A nation survives by its people who are willing to fight for the sovereignty of their nation. You could be black, you could be Spanish. You stop saying Spanish, you could be Latin, or come from a Latin descent, you could be Caribbean, you could be white. But if you believe in the Constitution and in the Declaration of Independence and the amendments that our forefathers gave us, you're an American. I don't care what you are. Black, white, Asian, Latin. If you believe in the Constitution and you believe in the country that you're in, you're an American. Celebrate your culture. Absolutely celebrate your culture. It's what makes you. But at the end of the day, you're still an American. That's what created this melting pot. And it was also created to divide us because they knew that there were certain people that will believe that they have a right to rule. And they don't, as well as there are people who are willing to fight for their sovereignty. Yeah. So it is what it is. Protect yourself and keep your head on the swivel. Streets is watching. Cops keep plotting, waiting for you to break and make your first mistake. You boys are appetizers. If I shoot you, I'm brainless. You shoot me, you famous. What's it gonna do?
What else is it? News.
I think I damn near said everything that's going on in the news today.
I think so.
Baby formula being shipped down to the southern border.
I didn't know that. You taught me that today. I didn't know that.
Pallets being shipped down to the border and our shelves are empty. $40 billion shipped to Ukraine. And we can't get our stuff together here. It's frustrating. It really is frustrating.
It is.
But these things are created to make you frustrated. From that happening, money being shipped overseas, inflation, foreign ports being closed, of goods coming through for services. We got the needle thing going on. They're trying to do that again. And if people don't say no to this one, this lockdown is going to be even worse. As much as y'all talk on social media and open up your mouth, if y'all don't open up your mouth about y'all sovereignty, then you can shut the fuck up. Because guess what? And it's the truth. It's the truth. As much as y'all talk and say things on social media about this, that, and the third, and don't understand that you ain't gonna be able to say none of that if you don't say nothing, you can shut the fuck up. Sorry, Grandma, that I said that, but it's the truth. Sorry, Dad, sorry, Mom, but it's the truth. I've seen so many keyboard warriors. So many.
That's the new era we're in also now.
Everybody worried about.
They think you're gonna solve everything by words being typed, no action.
An activist ain't nothing but a big mouth with a bullhorn. Where's the action? But you won't. Because guess what? You quick to follow behind certain groups that's been funneling money and basically using them to buy mansions and big houses in the essence of thinking that they're protecting a specific group of people.
Only protecting their asses.
Only protecting their asses. And you following behind those groups. And then when they start to come out and find out that that's what they're doing, you're silent. You're quiet. And it speaks volumes in your character. Is the movement serious? I believe it is. But the people that's behind it, there is never... You show me an organic movement, and I'm like, okay. You show me a movement that's not organic, I'll show you a person that's funding it. I'll show you a person that's using his money to help those movements to destroy a country. I could show you a person that's willing to destroy a country for his benefit. I could show you a person that's using it in clipping currencies and shortening up currencies. I could show you a person that believes in the World Economic Forum who wants to put a totalitarian nation and a totalitarian government in place to cut off your sovereignty. I'll show you that. And like I said before, some of your governors is involved. Some of your politicians is involved. Let me explain something to people. And I didn't think I was going to do this.
You on the road today?
It's not a color thing. It's not. There are people that come from all colors, shapes, backgrounds, colors, and creed that follow a path that believe that they have the right to rule. And they come in all colors. It's not a specific group. They come in all shapes, colors, and sizes. And once you realize that those people would rather see you under their boot and their heel to control you, to create a narrative, then you will break free. Your favorite entertainer, part of it. Favorite athlete, part of it. Favorite politician, part of it. Because they owe no allegiance to this country. And their God, G-O-D, is gold, oil, and drugs. They have no allegiance to no nation. They only have allegiance to themselves and their oaths, which their oaths are given in blood. And no nation can survive that. John F. Kennedy spoke of that. He spoke of it.
That was pretty good. I didn't know. That was pretty good with the God thing.
It's the truth.
I know. And when you said it, I was sitting here thinking about it like, damn, that's good.
If I don't owe allegiance to my country, then who I owe allegiance to? Material things. Gold, oil, drugs. My brethren, my brotherhood.
Those are the lead and running things that runs this.
And that's what runs it. And those people that are in those positions are a part of it. They owe no allegiance to a country. They don't. Their allegiance is to their craft.
It's real.
My fault, bro. I'm just.
No. I think we targeted everything for today.
I hope so.
I think so.
And don't listen to nothing that we say.
You did a good job today, man. You definitely did a good job, man. Picking up the slack. I appreciate
that, man. Don't listen to nothing we say. Don't listen to us. Research what we say.
I appreciate that. So we about to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody coming in today. Once again, I thank everybody for the prayers that's been coming through. I thank everybody that's been checking on me, checking on us, checking on the city.
Thank you.
Prayers again to all the lost ones out there. Let's just keep our heads up high and literally fight for the communities
and what they're
to get back together
and
and protect each other again.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are talking about the gun reform.
Gun reform is only going to affect people that are actually law-abiding citizens. Gun control kills kids. Because you can't tell me an actual law-abiding citizen that's actually a concealed carrying weapon member that has actually committed these crimes.
We all got our opinions on it. And I guess to each his own, for everybody's opinion, nobody's right or wrong. But just think about it though. If we was in if this was an area where we was at least able to carry something legally, especially when they deem us the crazy wild west in the summer and stuff like that.
Right.
People driving down the street and concealing could have possibly.
I had mentioned this to my daughter. I said
done something.
What if a person even if he was illegally carrying in the hood. Because I didn't mention this, I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier. I believe something happened around that area a couple of weeks ago, if I'm correct.
I think so.
Okay. So as many people that are not carrying legally, that are carrying, that still decided not to do anything, speaks volumes. Because I believe if they did intervene, even if they were carrying illegally, I condone constitutional carry. It's your God-given right. I said that before. If that person was carrying and intervened, I believe that not only the two-way community, but there would be certain members that would help that person or support that person.
Yes.
That decided to say, whoa, what is going on? I know I am not supposed to carry, but I see this is going on. I am going to do what's right. This is me personally.
Especially if they're actually already inside the building. Absolutely. And stuff like that.
And you, number one, you already know you're not supposed to be carrying, but you decided to do something that will deter multiple lives being killed. I believe that I will pray and I will hope that the leniency that will be given to you will be a lot less.
Yeah.
That's just my thoughts, you know.
But
I also understand that people have to abide by the law. I understand that.
Conceal and carry, constitutional carry, like my friend just said, those things can help. They can still help. They can. And if you don't, if you don't now go and apply or find out a way for you to, then you are basically just going to lead more to the problem. I encourage you all to be armed as the Constitution spoke for American citizens. But I don't care if you're armed. I care about your proficiency with the weapon. You can carry a blicky and a gun all day. But if you're not getting the training with it, you might as well not carry it at all. True.
What's the purpose of you carrying it if you're not training with it? You practice how you play, as my dad would say. You practice how you play. You go in half-assed, that's how you gonna play. Is it a spur of the moment thing for certain? Sometimes in these situations, absolutely. But if you stay vigilant and you keep your head on your swivel and still be able to enjoy yourself, but still be able to be vigilant and maintain, it helps a lot. A lot.
Definitely do. So, gosh, man. So yeah, prayers go up, man.
Definitely
prayers definitely go up. And
we appreciate you guys for sticking with us and helping us be the best us that we can be and learning from each other, because that's what this is about. It's about us learning.
Thank you for tuning in again this week. Thank you for tuning in on this episode and the past episodes. Thank you for the growth of the subscribers. Thank you for everything. I appreciate everything that everybody has provided. And I hope that everybody is thankful for the things that we provide and potentially are providing. So keep your heads up. What you say, guard your sixes?
Watch your six.
Watch your six.
Watch your six. Keep your head on the swivel.
And be safe, man. All right. Peace.